everybody, welcome to Physics Sparkle YouTube channel, a room for you to cross the hurdle of physics MCQs with less time. So in here video, the second video, MCQs related to gravitational fields and electrostatic fields in 2018 A-level paper is going to discuss here. So after going through all the theories related to gravitational fields and electrostatic fields, you can just pick the related MCQs in 2018 A-level paper, do them, and then have a click on this video to see whether you have done them with the simple tricky methods that I am going to tell you. So in 2018 A-level paper, there are mainly 3 questions related to this field. Number 11, number 23 and number 45. So the first question, number 11 question in 2018 A-level paper, they have given the spherical planets, 2 spherical, uniform spherical planets, capital A and capital B, and they have different radii, RA and RB, and also they have different masses with MA and MB, let's say. So if I just point out all the theory and all the data related to this question in another way, let's say this is capital A planet with simple MA mass and capital RA radius, and if this is capital B planet, it have MB mass and RB radius, and the acceleration due to gravity on the surface of these 2 planets can be, let's say, GA and GB, and in the data they have said that those 2 values are equal. So therefore actually GA equals to GB, and also they have given a comparison in between the 2 masses, and the mass of MA is twice the mass of MB. So you can jot down this comparison, which will be very important when doing this sum. So before moving into the discussion of this 11th question, I think it's better if I just point out the necessary data which will be important when solving this sum. This is the equation for gravitational acceleration. How it can be proved means, if you consider this kind of a capital M body or the capital M planet with a radius capital R, and there's a simple M mass which is simple r distance from the center of the capital M planet, we can just apply the F equals ma to this simple M object and towards the center of the planet. So there it have only the gravitational force, so it's capital G capital M simple M divided by simple R squared. Here R is the distance from the center of the planet to the small object simple M, so it's ma. If we then take A, here A is the gravitational acceleration, that's why we put simple G as there, and then simple G equals to capital G capital M divided by simple R squared. And there's a special case here when the simple M object is at the surface of the certain planet. That means the simple R goes to capital R. It's a special case, then definitely simple G gravitational acceleration equals to capital G capital M divided by R squared. It's clear to you. And if we know that it's a planet is Earth, then definitely this simple G is 10. That's the gravitational acceleration. We know that. So when doing this sum also, this equation is very important. So and also in the data they said the simple G, the gravitational acceleration at the surface of the 2 planets is equal, and capital G is also equal. We know that it's a universal constant, it's equal for any planet, so we can apply this equation for both and then do the sum. But it's not needed because there are many constants here. So if you go through, simple G and capital G is equal to both planets, so they are constant, then definitely the capital R squared is equals to capital GM divided by simple G, and as capital G and simple G are constants here, capital R squared is proportional to the mass of the certain planet. So we can get the proportion different with RA and RB square definitely equals to MA divided by MB, and it's given as 2. So it's very easy. You'll go with this first answer as the correct answer for this question. So now we'll move on to the 23 question, and this is a flux question in 2019 paper. If you go through my first video in 29 paper, we didn't met any flux related questions. So in 2018 A level paper, they have touched that area too. So in the question it said about capital S is a Gaussian surface which have net positive charge, and also there's a marked small area capital A with minus something flux which is greater than 0, and also they have given then the rest area, that means the area which is not included capital A. They have asked about the statement which is true regarding that flux inside the rest of the Gaussian surface. So before discussing this question, let's refresh the idea about what is flux. So if you consider this kind of an capital A area from a certain area, let's say if you just pick small capital area from a large area, and thus electric field intensity is capital E. Actually the flux is the number of electric field lines which passing through a certain area capital A. So psi then is equal to E multiplied by capital A. That means if you need to find the flux in a certain area, and if the electric field and both area is given, you just only need to multiply them together to find the flux related to that certain area. So that is the equation that needed mainly. And the other case is that if you have a positive charge, we know that the electric field is moving in a spherical area electric field. So and if you just pick out an enclosed Gaussian surface which covers the area to be 4 5 r square, that means we have selected the Gaussian surface's radius to be simple r, then we can apply the related equation for this. Capital E is 1 over 4 pi epsilon q divided by r square. It's a known equation. So we know that from the first theory, flux is E multiplied by A. Here A means 4 pi r square, so we can have something manipulation here, 4 pi r square to the E side. Then the right side is isolated with capital U divided by epsilon. So the left side is electrical flux. Then definitely electrical flux is equals to Q divided by epsilon. It's a known equation. And if the system for a certain medium, definitely psi or the electric flux is depend only on the number of Q, number of positive or the negative charges that inside enclosed within the system. So it's clear to you. And other case is that if you think that the flux have no positive or negative sign, if flux is scalar, no, actually we know that the enclosed number of charges are positive and negative with the algebraic sum. So that concept also can apply in the flux. That means if the charges, the number of charges inside a certain enclosed Gaussian surface is positive, then we can say that flux is also positive. And if a certain number of charges inside an enclosed Gaussian surface is negative, we can also say that flux is negative. So we can apply that theory also in here. So in the data, if you go through, they have said the Gaussian surface S is positive charge. So by that we can came into a conclusion, the net charge inside capital S is positive, then electric flux through the S surface is also positive. And the other case is that the electric flux inside capital A is negative because it's given as a negative value. Therefore the electric flux through capital A is negative, where it have negative charge inside capital A. So you know that they are asking about the rest area. That means the yellow colored areas flux. What will be? It will be a negative value, it will be a positive value, or greater than something. They are asking about that. So to have a positive electric flux at S, and the capital area is negative value, so the rest should be also positive value, unless the S area could not be a positive value. So, and definitely it should be greater than psi, the given answer. So electric flux through the yellow region is definitely positive and it's greater than psi. And so if I point out the answer for this, it's number 5. Then the 45th question, the last question. In here they have given equal positive Q charges which are located at distances 2 cm, 3 cm and 6 cm from the point capital O, and they said that another charge can be brought to the capital O point from infinity if another point Q charge negative Q is placed at capital simple r distance from the point O. So they are expecting that distance. So again, if I go to this pictorial representation, there are simple Q charges which is located at this distance, and also they said that there's a negative Q charge which is at r unknown distance, and also said that a certain charge can be moved from infinity to the capital O with no work done when these 4 charges are placed in this manner. So what is the concept here? Means the potential. The potential is the concept that is going to discuss here. So if I go through the potential, what's actually the potential? It's equal to the work done by a certain electric field on the electric field when a certain positive Q charge is moving from infinity to the P point, the desired point. So it's the equation that we needed. Capital V is equals to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught capital Q divided by R. That means R is the distance between the charge to the point where we're going to find the electric potential. So if I just point out here also, they said that the certain charge can be moved from infinity to a certain point with no work done. That means definitely when those 4 charges, 3 positive Q charges and negative Q charge is there in the straight line from O, the electric potential at O should be definitely equals to 0 to have a work done 0 when a certain charge is moving from infinity to that point. So if you again listed out all the potentials due to 4 charges, we can just point out it to 0. That means the first term is due to the positive Q charge which is at 2 distance. The second term means at 3 distance. Third term means the Q charge which is at 6 distance, and also that there's R distance simple Q charge. So these all addition should be definitely 0. So if you simplify them, you go with simple R equals to 1 centimeters. So this is the concept, and you have obtained the correct answer as number 1 answer. So these are the 3 questions that I have discussed in 2018 annual paper, gravitational acceleration and electrostatic fields. So this is the end of this video. So this is the second video, and we'll again welcome to our next video and soon. And so if you like this video, you can like, share and subscribe our channel. So if you have any questions, you can just drop a message or email this email address. So have a nice day. Bye bye.